Oh wait, I'm supposed to click cover, aren't I?
It's the 21 with a hit of 17.
Nima's axes bite into the gnoll from around the corner. Once again, it yelps in pain.
It'll be over soon.
Just lie still so I can hit you with a giant axe.
To be fair, it's not a giant axe. You gotta give her that.
It's only a battle axe of terror.
It's not a giant axe, it's 2 axes.
It's okay, Mangy. It's okay. Your time will come soon.
The mangy gnoll tries to spear Nima, but once again she dodges. The gnoll archer comes forward and takes a shot at Nima. But once again she dodges.
Keep coming, still hungry.
The gnoll curses. Massimo launches an eldritch blast at the crimson gnoll and strikes him. Coltaine.
If I attack the mangy gnoll from where I'm standing, does it have cover?
Yeah.
Well, I'll do it anyway. Coltaine uses basic melee attack against the mangy gnoll. And it's a terrible attack. Of 11.
Coltaine being careful not to hit Nima.
Well, that's not very interesting. But he doesn't do anything else.
Crimson Gnoll fails to spear Nima. Wrecked.
Sacred flame on the crimson gnoll. Oh, it's great how many attacks he's actually making. And he fumbles!
It's so great.
He's not used to actually attacking people with intent to hurt them so much.
Rect is so eager that he bites his tongue as he's uttering the prayer. Corvus.
Corvus is a flickering arrow on the crimson gnoll. No! It's a 15.
And the Crimson Gnoll dodges the flickering arrow.
But I'm gonna use inevitable shot.
Okay, that's crazy. It's like your arrow misses and turns around in midair.
So, inevitable shot. You make a ranged basic attack against an enemy within 5 squares of the creature you missed, using a square. Wow, that's pretty cool.
How come that's also a basic attack?
Can I attack the bloodied guy, but not get cover from it? Because technically,
Yeah, you
it's
wouldn't get
going
cover,
from-
exactly, because it's emanating from here now.
Cool.
Wait, it's not a basic attack, Doug. Oh,
You make
it's
a ranged basic attack.
Right. Yeah, but that's...
So this flickering arrow fires here, misses, immediately whips around, and heads for the mangy gnoll. And strikes him. Wait, biting swarm?
Yeah, accused as a basic attack.
You make a ranged basic attack against the... See,
Yeah.
you're not using it, he's not using flickering arrow. Somehow the flickering arrow transforms...
Into a biting swarm.
Yes!
Alright.
CJ, I find this very annoying.
Well, Corvus is, what, a controller? I think that's to compensate for, what, you have a longbow too? But the longbow doesn't give you bonuses to your attacks, right?
Yes, it does. Do I get
It does?
proficiency? Get 2, I think? Yeah.
Well then, you got the short end of the stick, Doug.
Doug, it's to make up for the fact it's John. He needs to play stronger characters because he's normally so unlucky. Except for this battle, of course.
I don't
Yeah.
even know how I would roleplay trying to sell him the bracers. You're like, Corvus, I've noticed your stinging insects seem more natural than me shooting my bow.
So the biting
How about
swarm does bite away the mangy gnoll.
Why don't you try selling him the bracers thinking that you're conning him?
Mark them up, too. That ends round 5. As we move into round 6, all of the hyenas are down. Just the 3 gnolls remain, and one of them is bloodied pretty bad. Wintier's up.
I'd like to mark the Crimson Gnoll as my quarry, please.
Well, actually, we've decided you can't do that either.
Marking as a quarry is now a standard action.
And Twin Strike. That's a 16 for 10, which I doubt hits, and a fumble.
The first arrow misses, and Wintier fumbles with the second.
I think it caught on to my negative energy. All thanks to John.
Be happy that he's at least contributing to the party and not to burning Coltaine. Nima.
Nima is going to use Bond of Pursuit on the mangy gnoll. An 18 with a hit of 11. I hope that hits.
Does that include cover?
No, it doesn't. I keep forgetting.
Nima's axe strikes the stone wall, sending sparks flying.
That was just a show of threateningness.
Yeah, you were sharpening it for your next attack.
Exactly.
I don't think walls count as sharpening stones. And I'm pretty sure attacking them head-on with an axe.
Hold on. CJ, the wall is made of stones or rocks or what?
It's made of flint, in fact.
There, you see? It's
There
perfect.
you go.
Okay, who makes a wall out of flint? That's just ridiculous.
Nima's superior elf eyes knew right away that was flint, and at this point her battle axes needed sharpening.
The mangy gnoll, appearing almost empowered by the wounds he suffered, spears Nima as she misses him for 16 damage, dropping her to 25, I want to say.
Sorry, how much damage?
16 damage. Those temporary hit points always mess me up. Yes, 25 out of 54 hit points Nima's down to as she's been impaled through the shoulder.
Who was this that attacked me?
The mangy gnoll.
Oh, it's on, mangy gnoll.
You said that at the beginning of the battle.
I think she said this several times.
Yes, and then I forgot, okay? We had a falling out. It's complicated.
Oh, is that why he's trying to stab you? Because you had a falling out? You don't think it's just maybe because you're attacking him with axes?
I just wanted a clean shot, you know?
The gnoll archer misses Nima once again and howls in anger, and grabs a bunch of his arrows and snaps them over his knees.
Yeah, I'm sure it's the arrow's fault, buddy.
Improper fletching. He's gonna return them to manufacturer. Make a complaint on Newegg.
Worst arrows ever!
Well, maybe if he wasn't buying arrows from, like, an electronics store. Also, he could benefit from those bracers.
Yes, in fact, he could. Massimo, let's fly another Eldritch Blast. Strikes the Crimson Gnoll. Coltaine.
Coltaine is impatient, trying to strike this mangy gnoll from behind a corner, and instead of attacking the crimson gnoll, which would be easy, he actually shifts until they are flanking him. Well, not until. He shifts such that they are flanking him, before striking out at the mangy gnoll.
He military crawls under the hyena corpses.
And he's stabbing at the ankles. And that's... You know what? Just because I can...
Heroic effort.
He makes a heroic effort on that basic melee attack.
Coltaine
So that's a total of 20.
comes forward swing. This is the mangy gnoll, right?
Yes.
Swinging his halberd, Soul Harvest, mightily in a vicious horizontal arc. It decapitates the gnoll and plants itself into the wall, with the head of the gnoll stuck on top of it as the body collapses to the floor.
He looks down at it and says, I was gonna tell you to surrender, but... that'll do.
Yes, the blood.
I was waiting for that blood. Oh, you know what? Just because he can, Coltaine uses an action point. He has two. He can only use one this battle anyway, and it's almost over. And provoking an attack of opportunity from the Crimson Gnoll, he is going to charge the archer.
The gnoll spears into Coltaine's ribs for 14 damage. Coltaine down to 25 out of 50.
It's alright, he can take it. And that's a critical hit against the Gnoll Archer for 27 damage.
Coltaine, you can now see that there's a the corridor running south is quite long. Seems to branch off some more. Nonetheless, he charges forward and impales the Gnoll Archer with the pointy end of his halberd. Blood
Good
for
thing he remembered
blood.
to use the pointy end. And he's so impressed with himself, he feels as if his wounds just aren't so bad. And he heals 17 hit points. And that's the end of his pretty cool turn.
The Crimson Gnoll tries to spear Nima, but she parries with her axes. Rekt recovers from his daze.
Rekt recovers from his daze. And once again, he's gonna use some Sacred Flame on that Crimson Gnoll. And that's an incredible 13 versus Reflex. Apparently he is pretty much useless for anything other than healing.
Rekt's tongue is too swollen from having been bitten that he cannot quite get the words of the prayer right.
I want to make them burn with holy fire. His god's just like, sorry, what? You're gonna have to repeat that in about 6 seconds. And he's too embarrassed to do anything else. Also, he wanted to fail because it makes Coltaine's turn look so much cooler.
Corvus.
Corvus gonna shift up and use a biting swarm against the Crimson Gnoll. So 25 for 13 damage.
And the insects pincushion him. That ends round 6, on to round 7. 2 gnolls left, one of them is bloodied. Winter's up, recovering from his fumble.
Since I believe I would have to mark the mangy gnoll as my quarry, I'll just do a twin strike on the gnoll archer. Except I think Matt told you to crash.
It's a 22 for 3 damage and a 17 for 6.
There we go.
The first
That's
arrow
a 22
strikes,
for
the
3
second
damage and a
misses.
17 for 6. I can't seem to type, but my turn's over.
Nima.
Hey, can you imagine if Jacob Tutu used Twin Strike?
2 times twice.
Nima will mark the Crimson Gnoll as her Oath of Enmity.
I think you already did.
No, I didn't.
But it already had it on.
That would be, Winter's
Oh.
Quarry.
Purple, blue, same color.
And use Bond of Pursuit. So 21 for a hit of 12.
Nima's axes taste blood.